We continue, children. Let's see how to change passive voice into active voice with interrogative sentences. Let's see the first example. Is sugar sold by the grocer? Passive voice is sold is your simple present. To change it into active, you have to use the do auxiliary. So first you bring the subject, the grocer, which is in the third person singular. So we use does in the third person. Does the grocer, V1 of sold is sell, sugar is your object. Does the grocer sell sugar is your active voice. Are such films liked by them? Passive voice. Are liked is your simple present. First you bring the subject, them will change into they, which is in the third person plural. So you have to use do as your plural auxiliary. Do they, V1 of like this, like such films is your object, that's your active voice. Was not rice grown by us? Passive voice. Was grown is your simple past, so your auxiliary will be did. Us will change into we. Not is your negative. V1 of grown is grow. Rice is your object. Did we not grow? Rice is your active voice. Were you taught music by her? Passive voice. Were taught is your simple past. Did will be your auxiliary. Her will change into she. V1 of taught is teach. You is your indirect object and music is your direct object. Did she teach you? Music is your active voice. Will this house be sold by you? Passive voice. Will be sold is your simple future. When you change into active, remove the be, add V1. So will, you will be the subject. V1 of sold is sell. This house is your object. Will you sell this house is your active voice. Is the field being plowed by the farmer? Passive voice. Is being plowed is present continuous. To change it into active, remove being, uh, bring the V1 plus ing form. So in the active voice, your subject is the farmer, which is in the third person singular. So we use is auxiliary. Is the farmer plowing the field is the active voice. Is the violin not being played by Shan? Passive voice. Is being played is in the present continuous. So is your auxiliary verb. Shan is your subject, third person singular. Not is your negative. V1 of play, display plus ing, playing the violin is your active voice. Are the walls being built by the mason? Passive voice. Are being built is in the present continuous. First you bring the subject, the mason is in the third person singular. So your plural auxiliary are will change into singular auxiliary is the mason. V1 of built is built plus ing, building the walls, that's your active voice. Was a train ride being enjoyed by the children? Passive voice. Was being enjoyed is your past continuous. First you bring the subject, children, which is third person plural. So your singular was auxiliary will change into plural auxiliary where. Where children enjoying a train ride is your active voice. Where the clouds being blown away by the wind. Where being blown is your past continuous. First you bring the subject, the wind. This is third person singular. So your plural past auxiliary will change into a singular past auxiliary, which is was the wind. V1 of blown is blow plus ing for continuous. Away by the clouds. Was the wind blowing away the clouds is your active. Has the chain been made by the goldsmith? Has been made is your present perfect. To change it into the active voice, simply remove the been. So has the goldsmith made the chain is your active voice. Have the mice been caught by the cats? Passive voice. In the active voice, have the cats caught the mice is your active voice. Had the goal been shot by Ronaldo? Passive. Had been shot is your past perfect. So had Ronaldo shot the goal is your active voice. Will the prize have been received by him? Passive voice. Will have been received is your future perfect. So to change it into the active, will, him will change into he. Have received the prize. Will he have received the prize is your active voice. We'll continue.